They thought she was weak, but they just picked on the wrong woman. The music in the biker bar was loud enough to shake the glasses on the counter. Leather jackets, heavy boots, and rough laughter filled the room. It was the kind of place where people knew the rules without anyone saying them. Mind your business, don't look weak, and don't walk in alone unless you were ready for what came with it. The door creaked open. Sarah stepped in. She didn't look around nervously like most people did. She didn't hesitate either. Calm, straight posture, eyes steady. She walked toward the counter like she belonged there. The laughter around the room faded, replaced with murmurs. A few bikers nudged each other. Wrong place, one muttered. Or easy trouble, another replied with a smirk. Sarah ordered a drink. Her voice was quiet but firm. No shaking, no fear. That confidence caught attention. At the far side of the room, the biggest man there leaned back in his chair. Thick arms, tattoos crawling up his neck, beard rough and untrimmed. He watched her like a predator studying something small that wandered into its territory. His crew followed his gaze. Women had walked into this bar before. Some left laughing. Some left humiliated. Some left crying. It depended on the mood in the room. And tonight, the mood was restless. One biker approached her first, leaning too close. "You lost?" he asked, voice thick with mockery. Sarah didn't turn fully. "No." Another stepped in behind him. Then another. Slowly, they surrounded her like wolves circling. "You don't look like you belong here," someone said. She took a sip of her drink. Calm, unbothered. "That's so," she replied. The big one finally stood. Chairs scraped as the room shifted. Even the bartender went quiet. He walked over slowly, towering over her. His presence alone was meant to intimidate. "We don't usually get visitors like you," he said. "Especially alone." Sarah finally turned to face him fully. Her expression didn't change. "Then maybe you should get used to it." A few bikers laughed. Others looked annoyed. The leader's smile faded. "You got a lot of nerve," he said, stepping closer. "Most people who walk in here know how to show respect." "And most people," Sarah replied, "know how to behave." That line landed like a slap. The room tensed. One of the men reached out, grabbing her wrist like he wanted to test how far he could push. The move wasn't playful. It was the kind of grip meant to control, to intimidate, to remind someone they were outnumbered. The bar had seen moments like this before. Usually, it ended badly for whoever stood alone. But Sarah didn't pull back. Her eyes hardened. "Let go," she said quietly. The man laughed. That was his mistake. In one sharp movement, Sarah twisted his wrist, stepped in, and forced his arm down against the counter. The sound of him slamming into the wood echoed. His face twisted in pain before he even understood what happened. The room froze. "What the?" The leader lunged forward. Sarah turned, fast and precise. He grabbed for her shoulder, but she shifted, caught his arm, and twisted it behind his back in one fluid motion. His massive frame bent forward unwillingly, a growl ripping from his throat as pain shot through his shoulder. Now he was the one trapped, pinned, struggling. Her grip was controlled, not wild, calculated, trained. The bikers stared in disbelief. Their leader, the strongest man in the room, was on his knees, face twisted, breath heavy, unable to break free. "You thought," Sarah said, voice low near his ear, "I was just another woman you could scare?" He tried to push back. Couldn't. Her hold tightened slightly. Not enough to break him. Enough to remind him she could. "I've dealt with men bigger than you," she continued. "Men meaner than you. And men who learned the hard way." Silence filled the bar. No laughter. No mockery. Just shock. One of the bikers stepped forward, uncertain. "Hey, let him go." Sarah glanced at him, and he stopped mid-step. Not fear of violence. Fear of control. She wasn't angry. She wasn't panicking. She was completely in command. After a moment, she released the leader and stepped back. He staggered forward, clutching his arm, breathing hard, pride shattered in front of his entire crew. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Sarah picked up her drink again like nothing had happened. "You don't get to corner women," she said calmly, scanning the room. "Not here. Not anywhere." The leader looked up at her, pain mixed with something new. Respect. And caution. "Who are you?" he asked. Sarah met his eyes. "Someone you should have left alone." She finished her drink, set the glass down, and walked toward the door. This time, no one blocked her path. No whispers. No smirks. Only silence as she passed through the sea of leather, and stunned faces. The door opened. Cool night air rushed in. And just before stepping out, she paused slightly and said without turning back, "Next time a woman walks in here alone, try offering a chair instead of a threat." Then she left. Behind her, the toughest bar in the city sat in complete, humbling silence. Because they hadn't just picked on the wrong woman. They had underestimated a force they didn't even recognize until it was too late. If you love how she showed quiet strength, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts and where you are watching from in the comment section, and tune in to Shirtflick Stories for more exciting stories.